Cars and Coffee Halloween trick or treat done. Trader Joe's done. And we just topped off the tank, which it already said full. It was like a sliver off of full, and I've been driving it all week. So we have 193.4 miles. So let's get the calculator out. 193.4 divided by 3.79, because it's 99. We'll just do 3.8. This can't be right. I don't know if it's going to show you guys. 103 I even did that wrong. 103.6 miles divided by 3. And guys, I idled this thing for over an hour this week, probably an hour and a half to 2 hours with AC on, and it says 51 miles per gallon. I don't understand. Like last time we tested this vehicle, we got 47 miles per gallon, pump verified. When we drove the XSE a couple years ago to Miami, driving 85 miles an hour, we got 37 miles per gallon. I don't get the wizardry of the fuel economy that we get here. 50 miles per gallon, guys, 50 miles a gallon. That's amazing. Can you believe the Sienna has been fully hybrid for 5 model years now? The last gasoline V6 powered Sienna was in 2020, and this has been an absolute smash hit for Toyota. However, there's still competition on the market. This year I've driven the Odyssey. That gave me an S tier on my spreadsheet. I've also driven the now highly competitive Kia Carnival hybrid, which gives this a run for its money. But this has been my steed this week. I've been racking up the miles with the kids. I'm gonna load up this thing entirely. I'm going to fill every single seat in here with a human being, as well as, well, it's Halloween time, so we're going to go do some trick-or-treating around the area, trunk-or-treating for Cars and Coffee. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'll try to get you guys some cool shots for that. But what has this Sienna been like to drive this week? We're going to find out, and also stay to the end because we're going to rank it. Is it as good as the Odyssey? Should you just be saving, I don't know, $10,000 and get a Carnival? For 5 model years now, the Sienna's just had this single powertrain, 2.5 liter 4th gen hybrid system. It is a CVT, of course. eCVT is what Toyota calls it. It's essentially indestructible, so it doesn't really have transmission costs to go with it, okay? It does have all-wheel drive as an option. This is front-wheel drive. The fuel economy here is why you buy this van over anything else. I'm seeing 40 miles per gallon. We'll fill it up today to see how accurate the clock is, but the clock's reading 40 miles per gallon. I've been idling the heck out of this thing. In fact, there was one time I forgot to turn it off, and it idled for almost an hour just sitting there running the AC. I got back in the car and it still said 40 miles per gallon. And it's easy to forget to turn this thing off because when you come to a stop, you put it into park, well, the engine turns off. It's a hybrid. I'm used to my V6 Sienna currently, or the engine just runs all the time. I'm pre-programmed to drive a minivan thinking to feel the engine all the time, and that's why I accidentally left it on. We've done it with our Prius before, and I'm sure many of you guys, if you've owned a Toyota hybrid or any other hybrid before, you've accidentally left it on yourself. We are human. Now, the strength is fuel economy, but it only has about 245 horsepower. It had almost 300 horsepower with the old V6. Those things were properly quick. This is adequately quick in the city and maybe not quick enough for some of you guys on the highway, especially if you're loading this thing to the max with people and objects. Now, this is built in Indiana. Man, that jet's loud. It's the only thing making noise at 8 in the morning. And let's not forget that this is also built in Princeton, Indiana, where they build the Grand Highlander. That has a Hybrid Max powertrain, a 2.4 turbo with 340 to 360 horsepower, somewhere around there, 400 pound-feet of torque. This thing would properly scoot if it had that turbo hybrid option, and that still gets about 30, sometimes more miles per gallon with that powerful hybrid option. And guess what? The new RAV4 is getting a very powerful 320, 325 horsepower, I'm forgetting already, plug-in hybrid with 50 miles of range, of electric range. And unfortunately, the Sienna is just soldiering on with this 2.5 liter, but that's not stopping people from buying it. Very light aluminum hood. Ooh, that's satisfying. I'm reviewing for you guys the XSE model. I believe this is the best looking model. It's also the best handling. It has performance. kind of dampers, more race inspired dampers. So it handles, it's a little bit stiffer, which I like because I want my minivans to not feel like they're tipping over in the turns, and this Sienna XSE feels very planted. All right, so this is styled after the Shinkansen bullet trains a little bit. This has a very big bottom grille, similar to what you would see on maybe like a GR Corolla or something like that. I'm a big fan of this style. However, on the non-XSEs, you know, they're not quite as sharp looking in my opinion, a little bit busier as well. This is the best looking one from the front. The daytime running lights here, LED, this is also your turn signal, LED here, and then you have your nighttime lights there. I like your fog lights down below. It's a decent looking front end, and let me know if you guys like it better than maybe the Carnival's front end. Other than the performance dampers, one of the reasons the Sienna XSE handles well, we have a thinner sidewall here. All right, these are the largest 20-inch wheels. You can get smaller wheel diameters for sure. And the smaller the wheels, the better the fuel economy. Now, this one is not equipped with the 360 camera. I can see the cutout for it here on the mirror. I do have auto folding mirrors and a little turn indicator here on the side. One of my favorite things about this Sienna is how many different ways you can open up the door. Okay, you have a kick sensor here, which no one has figured out other than Toyota, other than their hybrid powertrain. This is another thing that kind of sets them apart. Okay, you put the foot under, there it opens. That's amazing. When I have kids, groceries, both in my hands, I can just pop that and open the door. Now, that's not the only way to open and close the door. There's a ton of different ways. There's the buttons on the inside. It's between the front center passengers, right up on the ceiling, if that makes sense. I can also open it with the old school key fob. I can do that on my 10-year-old minivan over there. Don't know why it's not working. I'm sure it's user error, but you can also open it with the key fob. It's not doing it right now. Meanwhile, if I get my keys out on my old Sienna over there, this old key fob, there it goes. Works every time. But for my scrimpy kids, sometimes it's hard for them to, even on our van, to pull the door handle. They're just too little. Luckily, yes, you can open it with the door handle, but we'll close it. All right, but there's a little button here. Genius. Just press this button, which kids are really good at pressing buttons. It's gonna open for them. Love that feature. Sliding doors is why you get a minivan, like, and the space. But sliding doors is one of the biggest cheat codes in the industry. It's a soft closed door, something you only see on $100,000 vehicles, like the Infiniti QX80 over there. But sliding doors are an absolute, once you have them, it's hard to go back, honestly, once you have kids. But let's talk about the back end of the Sienna here. It's not really worth talking about the back end styling. It's a minivan. It's kind of ugly in the back, but what do you expect? All right. So why you get a minivan? There's tons of cargo space back here. You can also, and I think Toyota's made it a little bit easier. Move the booster seat, but Toyota's made it a little bit easier to pull these seats back compared to my generation Sienna. Those seats feel about twice as heavy. All right. This is also a huge benefit back here, 1,500 watts. Now it's not standard, you have to pay extra. We'll put what that fee is for this, but it's nice to have that 1,500 watt. It makes this a great tailgating vehicle for going to your kids' events, that sort of thing. There's a big cutout here. You can get a vacuum, I think, for this model, and something else, maybe a cool box, something like that, but this model is not equipped with it. All right, let's go ahead and close this. Oh, and there's a big JBL subwoofer back here too. All right, you can see this huge opening here. Not as wide as I'd like it to be. I've driven an ID Buzz this year. Those door openings were enormous, but this is still infinitely superior to something like an SUV or the Grand Highlander for getting the kids in. Look how low the entry point is. Not quite as low as a Honda Odyssey to get in and out of, but I love the huge handles here. The button to close the door is really low, and I think they did that probably for kids to be able to press this button to close the door from the inside. But they could also still pull the handle here to close it. There's just so many ways to open and close these doors. I thought I had them all. No, there's still other ways to do it. All right, rear-facing seat. Now with this, it comes to about here. And so it's better than an SUV, but make sure you have your rear facing seat on the side. That makes the most sense. Like my kids get in from car line here, so having my rear facing seat on the opposite side is typically where I do it. Okay, but I haven't needed to pick up the kids with Abe this week, so the rear facing seat was just for a donut run, honestly. All right, now you fold this seat forward, or slide it forward, I should say, with this. The kids probably would not be able to do that by themselves, but I want to get in the back seat and show you what that third row is all about. Wow, this seat is so soft back here. Really, really impressed. I have vents right above, something the Odyssey screws up. They keep the vents kind of low by the knees. I also have the tiniest windows in the back seat. That's honestly, that's a big gripe for me. I have huge windows in my 2013 Sienna. There's huge windows on the Carnival. Even the Odyssey's windows are bigger in the back. These things are so darn small, and my kids are you know, they don't ever really get car sick in my van. They complain about getting car sick here in the third row. Dad, my head hurts. I don't feel great. And I honestly think it's because this is a penalty cave in the back seat. There's not that much light coming in. Even the rear window is small. These side windows just don't bring in enough light. I want it to be more inviting, and this third row is very cave-like. I have cup holders back here. I do have a headset plug-in because I do have the rear entertainment screen, which does not have a optical disc player like a Blu-ray drive or DVD player. So you would have to plug in your devices, your laptop. A portable, I've used portable DVD players in the past with this setup. All right, it costs like $1,600. Just save that money and buy yourself a nice laptop or a couple nice tablets for the kids, all right, instead of wasting your money on this entertainment system. That's just me. I have 2 USB-Cs on this side. Ew, look, I found an empty packet for crayons. What do you know? Headroom is good back here, even for adult. Legroom is good. It's a minivan, it should be. In the second row, tons of space. We have the HDMI input for this big screen here. We have a 1500 watt power adapter, 2 more USBs here. Vents above, again, which is great. And again, another thing with these drop-down DVD players, it takes headroom away. So when the kids are getting in, they can easily bump their head on. And another reason not to get it. I have quad zone climate control, which is pretty crazy. I mean, typically, tri-zone is more than enough in a minivan, but you do have quad zone here. I don't have heated outboard seats. I think you might be able to get that in like the Platinum, which has like the ottoman seats, but at least that Platinum will give you that 360 camera that this lacks. Pretty basic, you know, pass through here. You can get the Sienna in an 8-seater, this one being equipped as a 7-seater. And this is where Toyota kind of has dropped the ball. The second row should be more configurable. You look at the Odyssey. Not only do you can take out the 8th seat, so you have captain's chairs. This doesn't give me the option. You either buy the vehicle as a 7-seater or an 8-seater. My old Sienna has a removable middle seat if you want to put the 8th seat in. Toyota took that option away from you guys, so you either have to buy an 8-seater or a 7-seater, and there's no customization in this second row. Minivans are about flexibility, and this is the least flexible minivan, I think, in the entire class by a long shot. All right, not ID Buzz, not counting that because it's an electric car that does have more flaws than this vehicle, but I love that ID Buzz. So I can't side the seats side to side. I don't have an additional seat here either, and I cannot remove the second row of seats for more cargo space. But I'm done ranting about the second row. Let's go ahead and get into the front. Okay, door slam, but you know, the kids aren't slamming the back doors because they always soft close. Love that about a minivan. All right, let's talk about the Sienna. They have updated a few things here and for 2025. There's a new like child alert system in the back. I'm sure someone out there is going to use it. I have children. It like can send push notifications to your phone if you like leave a kid in the car. New 12-inch screen. It is not standard, but I think you get it on every grade except the LE. But hey, I like the volume knob, and it is usable for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I have a wireless charger way over here. That's the thing, like I don't have access to my phone, so it's really far away. So I would just be using, I have been using my USB here, which is still USB-A for data. And then I have 2 USB-Cs in here. This is something that's always frustrated me with the new Sienna, and when I mean new, I mean 2021 and newer. You have this bridge here that takes up a ton of space, and you don't need it because it's all shift by wire. Yes, I like a traditional shifter, but they could have freed this up. Look, my my V6 Sienna's shifter is like here, and then I have all this space available. I can stow the cup holders away. The cup holders are always here, okay? You have 4 cup holders. We have used them all at one point before with other road trips. We took the Sienna to Disney once, for example, and it's great. I mean, I'm being picky. I'm a minivan like lover and enthusiast, and minivan should be very, very spacious if you want it to be. This is kind of claustrophobic, always has been. And despite how much space you have down here, it just is kind of a pain to get to it. All right, the Odyssey has a ton of space here, and I think even the Carnival has a lot of space here because the Carnival shift by wire on the column. All right, so yeah, just a very bad use of interior space on a minivan, the Sienna, and it still is the hottest minivan in the segment. It's that Toyota effect. I do have memory seats here on this XSE. Like I mentioned, I don't have a 360 camera, which is a huge miss. It should have been included in the premium package, which gives me ventilated seats. But the 360 camera is not here, so we just have a really low quality backup camera. I don't even have predictive lines. That's trash. That is not acceptable for such an expensive car. Like, there's no configuration here with a backup camera. Yes, I have parking sensors. They work awesome, and really good parking sensors go a long ways, all right? But for this price, 360 camera and a better backup camera with predictive lines should have been standard. I want to go back to the seats here. Well, last time we reviewed an XSE, it didn't have this premium package, which includes JBL. I don't have a panel roof in here, of course. It's just a standard roof because of the DVD player. Actually, trying to think if there's even a panel roof option in the Sienna. All right, that's another reason it feels kind of dark and gloomy. I think there is, but I could be wrong. The last XSE that I drove didn't have this premium package, which gives me ventilated seats and perforated seats, which after driving the XSE in the summer last time, with those vinyl soft tech seats, you just stick to them, you melt to them. It's not a good experience. If you lived in a hot climate, you have to get cloth seats, perforated seats, ideally cloth or ventilated, to be honest, in your minivan. All right, luckily this has ventilated seats and they work well enough. And these ventilated seats are really loud, by the way. I'll turn it on here. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but they are really, really loud. Heated seats, of course. I don't have a heated steering wheel. I find that hard to believe. Of course, I haven't looked for it all week because I haven't needed it, but that is crazy. You probably have to get an additional cold weather package to get a heated steering wheel. That's a bit of a miss for me. No head-up display on this model. This is new for 25. This is a digital MID. You still get the standard 7-inch screen, I think, on the LE model, but this is a more customizable screen, but there's a much higher learning curve to it. It's not as new as the RAV4s, for example, that is coming out this year, but you can still customize it how you want. For example, I wanted to show you guys like how many miles I've put on it this week. I've put about 180 miles on it, and that's before we start driving it for today's review. Okay, so over 180 miles. It says 39.4 miles per gallon, but again, I've been idling this thing excessive amounts between car line, forgetting it was on, and for this car review. All right, steering wheel feels great. I love the physical buttons, really easy to maneuver around. The comfort of these seats is fine, to be honest. Visibility is quite good. We have pretty thin A-pillars here. Overall, I would say I like this window. It helps with that visibility too. Climate control, it's physical buttons. Rotary dials are great, but this has been fine to play with this week. Pretty easy, pretty simple. I can just switch to the rear, mess with that if I want, or just put it on auto for the rear and sync or not sync, and then get back to the front here and put it on auto. It's been a nice experience to adjust the climate control. In fact, I understand this climate control system much better than my 2013 Sienna, and that has a rotary dial, but that has like just so many buttons, it gets pretty confusing. I still don't, like, my wife and I, every time I get in the car, she has her different settings, and then I have to like get out of that and put in mine different settings because it's just not very intuitive. So we've both found our own individual ways we prefer to work with the old climate control. This is very simple, straightforward, and easy to use. The placement of the vents is quite good too. It's not too low. That's becoming a trend in the industry. So the vents are high, AC in here. I wouldn't say it's as good typically as other Toyota hybrids. I would say it's good, but it's not like Camry good, a Camry hybrid good. That AC is just insane. Much smaller cabin to cool down, I get it, but it's good enough in here. I haven't had any issues this week with our upper 80-degree weather. No digital rear mirror on this model. I do have auto dimming side mirrors and rear mirror. I really like that. It's been great when I take the kids to school in the morning. It is dark, and so it's great to have those dimming mirrors as well. I have a cabin little reflector here at the expense of no sunglasses holder. I can't believe that. I don't wear sunglasses, but it's a big deal for my wife. So no sunglasses holder, just so that we don't have this. And we also don't have cabin watch in here. That's something my wife really likes. It has a camera in the cabin so you can look at the kids. The Carnival that we reviewed earlier this year also had a fantastic cabin watch, sort of child watching surveillance camera, kids cam in the back. Sienna just doesn't offer it at all, which is kind of a bummer. Not a deal breaker. It might be a deal breaker to some, so that's something to consider for sure. All right, it's time to load up the kids, and we're gonna go trunk or treating at Cars and Coffee. All right, we're loaded up in the Sienna. Every seat accounted for. Cass, what are your thoughts on this interior? I know you haven't spent a lot of time in it, but first impressions this week.
Looks similar to the last time I was in a Sienna.
Yep, not much has changed. They put in a bigger screen.
Oh, nice.
Okay, do you like the aesthetics of it?
Oh yeah, it's fine.
It's fine?
I'm not, yeah. I think it fits, it's like, isn't bulky?
Yeah, it's not too
which
high,
is nice.
right? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Okay.
It seems like it's nice and easy to like get to
It is.
and whatnot, like
Right.
on the driver's side.
I would agree. So it's like really far out.
Yeah, which is nice, right?
Which is easy to get to. You're not reaching for it.
I feel like it fits your peripherals, is that the word?
Yeah.
A little bit better too, so you can like kind of pay attention to the street.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
Fair
That's
point.
just
No,
fine.
I think you're right on. I turned it off for the video, but yeah, we could turn it on if we wanted to.
Yeah.
All right.
Easy.
You know, I was complaining about where the charging port is, the wireless, but it works for you. Like, you found it right away and charged your phone.
Like, let's go. Let's charge it.
Yeah, you love those wireless chargers.
I do.
You know, Cass, I've already shared my thoughts on this bridge area.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on it?
It feels a little, like, Starship-y.
Okay.
Kind of like you're in a go-kart, which is an interesting feeling.
Yeah. Enclosed in.
Enclosed in. I don't know, does it make you safer doing that?
No.
I don't know. Oh, okay.
No. I think they just wanted, I don't know. I honestly don't understand it, because we just love having this open so we can slide back. I couldn't even slide my bag, which would totally fit under here, but I just couldn't do it because I'm too closed in.
That's funny, Gigi. That is really annoying. It feels very like you're in an airplane, like a first class situation where it's just like your own little area.
Right.
Not that I've ever been to first class, but
right.
I would say on TV.
I would say you're very accurate with that.
Yeah.
Okay. There's memory seats here, which we're very different heights, so we appreciate that.
Yes.
Cass, there's no cabin watch in here.
Oh, nope. That's a big negative then.
I know.
I love cabin watch.
I know you love that.
It's a necessity.
I
don't have it currently. But
we don't have it currently, but
nice.
like if we were buying one, that's like a must-have.
That would be on my like little checklist. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no 360 camera on this specific trim level.
That's a stinker.
But there are parking sensors everywhere.
Okay, that's nice.
That is nice. Yeah. Now, we've driven maybe a competitor to this vehicle that's not a van, and that was a Toyota Grand Highlander. And that had a lot more power. But the second you got in that vehicle, we both agreed that the ride was like all over the place.
And
bumpy.
Shaky. Yes.
Even with these big 20-inch wheels here, how do you feel about the ride quality?
It's like my van. It's what I envision.
It's comfort.
It's comfortable.
Yeah, it's comfortable. It's pretty smooth. All right, even with these big wheels, so much better ride quality than the Grand Highlander for sure.
Yeah, it's comfy. The back seats seem to be really far. Like, that would be a little bit difficult if I had, like...
Well, I have them squished back all the way.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. They slide really far forward and back.
Oh, okay. So then you can reach them easily.
You can if you wanted to. Yeah, I slid them pretty far back. Girls in the third row, how's your leg room?
Good.
Oh, but they're little.
But they're little, yeah.
Yeah, leg room means space.
Okay, Reggie doesn't have a lot of space because of Abe's rear-facing seat,
Car
right?
seat, yeah.
Yeah, you're fine there in the middle.
Gigi says she has plenty of space.
She has plenty of space.
I have little bit space because your bag.
Oh, that's right, my bag, which I can't put in the front, so I have to put in the back.
Right, there's no room in the front because of this bridge here. It's just, I don't know, like, when they design these things, I don't think they talk to families, right? Or at least Toyota did it. Honda's and Kia's is much more like, I don't know, we didn't have any space issues in those vans. And I got in the third seat and I was wondering, like, you know, Gigi's been complaining that her head's been hurting her this week. It's not like this car's fast or anything.
Yeah.
I got back there and it's dark and the windows are tiny.
Oh.
So you're kind of in a submarine in the third row. Like, the windows are maybe half the size of our van's windows in the third row. It's just like, why do they, like, that's not okay. You gotta have bigger windows back there for kids.
Kids are not always going to be on their screens. Like, we don't have screen kids. We have window looking out kids. Like, you know, looking out the window kids.
100%. But also, like, we don't have screen kids because they get sick in the car.
Right.
So we tell them to look out the window, but if there's not
window space,
there's not enough window for them, that could, make the problem worse. Now, when you're just cruising in the Sienna, we talked about the ride quality is good. Like, the engine's quiet unless the power needle goes into the power, and then that's when, like, it's like, oh man, I wish I had the sound and the smoothness of the V6. The brakes here's one of the things that has improved a lot with the Sienna. Because I remember the first model years, the brakes were like super duper touchy. That can happen with hybrids with not a lot of, like, I don't know, maybe they just didn't have enough time to refine the brake pedal, but I have no issues here with the brake pedal.
Nice.
And it does have auto brake hold. I just have to reapply it every time. Which to me, that's like a deal breaker. That's your cabin. That's your cabin watch.
That's my cabin watch.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And the great thing about a hybrid here, we're at a stop, engine's off, complete quiet. Besides, the kids snacking on things, and they're actually really quiet right now.
Yeah.
They
know to be quiet when Daddy's working.
That's right. They're very respectful when we're recording. But if we were just not recording,
symphony.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the first generation Sienna had a special edition called the Symphony Edition.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I like your little retro callback there.
There you go. It's all interconnected.
So here's the engine. This Accord behind me was like riding me. And cars are always going to be riding. If you want to get the 40 miles per gallon, you're going to be driving slow a lot.
Oh.
And, like, no matter how we drive our Sienna, or V6 Sienna, it's like 18 miles per gallon.
I know,
like,
it's horrible.
Sometimes, I think it's gone up since we drive a little bit more highway now, but it's still not great. And that's like, this is the trump card. If that triggers people, this is the ace up the sleeve.
Ace up the sleeve, there you
go. This is ace up the sleeve. Powertrain, right? 40 miles per gallon in the sporty trim. It's great, and it handles well in this package. And that's something I know you really missed about the Odyssey, is that it handled so well.
Oh yeah, it was really nice. Smooth operator.
So smooth. This isn't nearly as smooth as Odyssey. It's not nearly as quiet, which you might be thinking, how is it not as quiet? The engine turns off half the time, but it's just not.
Oh, I don't like that anyway.
Well, you like
engine
Prius.
turns off?
No, it's a hybrid. So it's like their Prius.
Oh, okay.
So you're used to that. So you wouldn't even know. Yeah.
Okay, not the click and
it's
then
not the start-stop, like, terrible. No. It doesn't. It operates like a normal hybrid.
Oh,
like,
good.
It's super smooth when the engine turns on and off. That's not an issue.
Oh,
it's not as smooth as the Odyssey. Doesn't handle as well as the Odyssey.
Yeah.
We sit up higher than the Odyssey, which you probably like.
I didn't even notice, but that's really nice.
It seems like it anyways.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the case, but it feels like I'm sitting higher than the Odyssey. Like,
oh, that's nice.
This Tacoma next to us is super loud. It also has a huge lift, yeah. But like, Oh man.
What was that?
That was the
lane keep assist.
The lane keep
Boo,
shoving me back.
sometimes it's difficult.
That one was pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
There, but that's okay. I was not going to run into the median.
Don't worry, we're good.
Staring at this American Tacoma.
Everyone's going to Cars and Coffee today.
Oh yeah, you guys see a Supra right there. No, not a Subaru. A Supra.
Supra.
Let's see if we can get a close up. Everyone's heading to Cars and Coffee. All right. Those things are like $100,000 now. These old Supras.
Crazy.
Yeah. Abe, that's your first Mark IV Supra.
It's right there. It's
this
the
red car. He's like my age or our age.
Yeah.
Man, there's not that many like 30-some-year-old millennials that have a Supra. At least that generation, you know.
Right. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. I'm going faster than a Supra. The Sienna is faster than a inline 6 2JZ Supra. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna head back to the office. We're gonna cross shop this real quick. It's a good van. It has some compromises with the spacing and like the configurations of this van. But the fuel, Maggie says it's amazing. So take her word for it. She's typically right. Right, Moo? Yeah. Yeah. So it's amazing, but is it going to beat the Odyssey? That is the question. Let's head in the office and figure that out. Now the 26s have not been announced yet. I don't know what kind of changes there are going to be for the 26 model year, what kind of pricing changes are, but we still have some 25s out there. Only 148 Siennas in my area. Not very many. I wouldn't be surprised if many of these were already spoken for. But let's look at the grade walk here. All right, we have no Woodlands available. There are 13 LEs. The most are XLEs at only 16, 2 Platinum and 2 XSE. Let's look at the cheapest we can get an LE here. I mean, the thing is, these things are so in demand. The chances of you getting a deal on one are slim to none. You're going to be paying MSRP, if not over, because of distributor add-ons as well as dealer add-ons. So minimum $43,000 for a Sienna hybrid. Let's look at the XSE. I really enjoyed the XSE. It handles great. Not as good as an Odyssey, but still really impressive. And the ventilated seats on the premium package were a game changer, as I mentioned. So $49,000, $50,000 for the XSE. Yeah, it's worth the price of admission. I will say it's pretty darn good. But what is the Odyssey going for? You know, you're looking at the Odyssey like, oh man, it just looks so basic now. It does, but it looks like a van. And you know, the only thing holding the Odyssey back is fuel economy. But man, the V6 in here is butter smooth and it's very powerful. It is more sporty to drive than the Sienna in every imaginable way. Okay, you get a touring model for $46K, EXL for $44K. The Odyssey is a better deal. You will be paying more in gas though, and stopping at the gas station twice as often. It is a bit of an inconvenience compared to the hybrid Sienna and the hybrid Carnival, but man, the V6 VTEC in here is just so fun. It handles great. And the interior is better on the Odyssey than the Sienna. Okay, watch my long-term reviews on the Odyssey. All right. Will I pick it over the Sienna? Well, stay tuned. Now, you also have the Carnival. The Carnival has the most space on the inside. It almost looks like a Tahoe or something. They made it look like an American SUV, the Carnival. Now, the Carnival hybrid you can get for $7,000 off of MSRP. This is a fantastic buy. You know, when I reviewed it earlier this year, I didn't put it as an excellent purchase, but after seeing the discounts on here, it's an excellent purchase. Again, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 off of MSRP for Carnival hybrids, and you'll be getting not quite as good fuel economy compared to the Sienna hybrid, but still close to double than what you get on the Odyssey or the Carnival V6. Carnival still has a V6, but I would be getting the hybrid. All right, so let's go to the spreadsheet. Let's summarize the Sienna, okay? The XSE still got 40 miles per gallon. Mind-blowing. Simple and easy to use controls. There's about 10 different ways to open the doors on this van, which is great. It handles well. It handles better, of course, than all the other non-sport tune suspension handling. Sienna's not quite as good as an Odyssey. An Odyssey feels lower to the ground. Okay, the Sienna feels like a van, and the Odyssey kind of feels like a lifted sedan. Cons: we have a loud, buzzy 4-cylinder. Okay, assuming that the engine's on, because a lot of the times it's off in a hybrid. It needs more power. So 246 horsepower. I mean, I wish it had about 300. But look, there's plug-in hybrids out there. The new RAV4 has a plug-in hybrid. There's no reason the Sienna shouldn't adopt it. In fact, the Sienna is so big underneath, it could support a bigger battery pack than the 22.7 kilowatt hour battery pack on the new RAV4 plug-in. It's just frustrating. Anyways, I don't want to get too far into that. I've been asking for a Sienna plug-in hybrid forever, and it's still crickets. All right. The interior is tight. It's dark. The windows are small. You can't configure the seats that well. They only slide forward and back in the middle row. It's just not that. It's just very basic. There's not a lot of engineering going on with the seats. And that's a big miss. All right. I much prefer the interior in some ways. Well, definitely the Odyssey, and also the Carnival. It's so much more roomier, and the tech is better on the Carnival too. You know, even if there was no plug-in hybrid, I would still be happy if there's an available hybrid max with 360 horsepower that you see on things like the Grand Highlander. And it's just crickets on the Sienna, unfortunately. But that's not stopping it from selling well. It's not stopping it from being an excellent minivan. Okay. Is it better than the Odyssey? The Odyssey Elite that I had as long-term loaner. And the answer is it's only better in one way, and that's fuel economy. And not everything is fuel economy. It's a huge part of it, but it is not S tier. I would rank this above the Carnival because the Carnival just drives so poorly. And I haven't reviewed the Pacifica this year. I like the idea of the plug-in hybrid on it, but in execution, it's not done very well by Stellantis. So now you might be asking, as I put this right next to the Grand Highlander Hybrid Max, which has a powertrain that I wish was in the Sienna, or at least as an option, what do I think about the Sienna versus the Grand Highlander? They're both 3-row family haulers. The ride quality is so much better on the Sienna. The Grand Highlander has a bumpy kind of like unsorted ride. The handling is much better on the Sienna is a lot better in my opinion than the Grand Highlander Hybrid Max. But the Highlander Hybrid Max's powertrain is so satisfying. Or the Sienna, it's only satisfying when you're watching that fuel economy gauge just go out of this world. Okay, so I wish we could have a compromise. Maybe go down to 30, 32 miles per gallon, but have that 340 horsepower or whatever that this vehicle has. All right. It is what it is, but still love the Sienna. It's still a bit of a cheat code in the segment, but not as much anymore now that you have the Carnival hybrid out there. Odyssey still best in class. If the Odyssey had a hybrid, it would be absolutely decimating the competition. Hey, at least you still have that V6 that has the power that I'm wanting in the Sienna. All right, my old V6 Sienna would dust this hybrid Sienna. And yeah, it's just far more capable in passing and accelerating. But my Sienna gets like 20 miles a gallon, maybe. Okay, where the Grand Highlander, the Sienna, like it's just so good. So really that's what I just keep coming back to. Everything else about the van is so mediocre. Okay, the interior especially, the looks, whatever, it's a van. The handling is better than mediocre on the Sienna, but just give us more power, give us a plug-in hybrid. But here's the thing, like Toyota is selling so many of these. The demand is so high. As we go back to just availability in my 150 mile radius, there's only, let me get out of this trim level. There's only 148 Siennas, 450 Odysseys. And if we look at Carnival and Carnival Hybrid, there's 350 to 400. Okay. And these things are selling well. Odyssey has been selling well. Its sales are slowing down this year, or should I say the later part of this year, but it has been selling well. So it just lets you know, like, the Sienna is selling a ton. It's selling as much as the competition, if not more, but it's selling them so fast. The demand is so high. And even though Toyota ramped up like production 70% on the Sienna this year, there's still too much pent-up demand for it. And gas is so expensive, and the inconvenience of having the gas is such a big deal. Like, I could easily see myself, catch me on a different day, ranking the Sienna up in S tier, because the fuel economy is like S plus tier, like it's out of this world. I love having the Sienna hybrid when I get it for review. I love putting tons of miles on it and seeing what kind of fuel economy it gets. It's kind of a video game, and it is enjoyable to drive. I'll see you guys in the comments. Stay tuned for more updates on the channel, and let me know, do you want more power out of the Sienna? Do you want a turbo hybrid to get the power? Do you want a plug-in hybrid? That's the most logical option, in my opinion. I would probably spend too much money and go buy a new Sienna plug-in hybrid if it were available, or a Odyssey, if they made even an Odyssey hybrid, but it's not. So it's just like, man, give the market what they want. Kia's close. They have a V6 and a hybrid, but yes, no plug-in hybrid on the Carnival quite yet, which who knows? With the pace that Toyota moves, Kia could come out with a plug-in hybrid on their Carnival before Toyota does. Anyways, thank you guys. Stay tuned for more, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.